World. Thank y'all for tuning back in, Mr. Worldwide. First things first, glory to my Father, the Most High God. Today's topic, people, accountability. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to give you the definition of accountability. All right. How do one show accountability? All right. What is accountability in a relationship? Okay. What happens when you don't take accountability? All right. How to tell if someone is accountable? And what is the core value of, you guessed it, accountability, people. All right, let's go. The meaning of accountability is the fact of accepting responsibility for one's actions and the consequences that follow. The act of accepting responsibility for one's actions and the consequences that follow. Ma'am or sir. People all over the world. Y'all got that? All right. We're going to move along. All right. Now, this also can be personal organizations, meaning it can be personal or it can be a group of individuals. Okay? Y'all got that? Yeah. Either somebody can be held accountable about something themselves, or a group of people can take the accountability for it. Now, a lot of times when you talk about accountability, people so selfish and entitled and me, fucking me all the time. You know what I'm saying? I know, y'all. I know I had to do it. But the thing I'm trying to say is nobody wants to take that responsibility. You know what I mean? I thrive on it. I live for it. I mean, that's me. That's my day to day. If I done it, then so be it. Whatever the consequences may be, bring them on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me though. But everybody don't feel like me, which you have to understand. Everybody don't move like me. Everybody don't talk like me, and vice versa goes for you. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, excuse me. But with that being said, and I'm back. Yeah, I know, y'all, my bad. Yeah, a little cold in there trying to get it out. But anyway, with that being said, that's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? That's how I am. Or like I said, a lot of people don't move like me, don't talk like me, don't act like me, and they ain't me. Couldn't be me, can't clone me. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But we're going to move along on this one. Like I said, that can be personal or a group of people or individuals. All right? Now, where we at? This is how you show accountability. You have to pay attention to the details, y'all. All right? You have to pay attention to the details. You have to acknowledge and fix your mistakes. You have to help your coworkers, and by doing that, you develop a protective approach. You got to show up as a leader. You got that, y'all? You got to stand up for what's right, and that'll improve your attendance. And you still got to be willing to accept criticism. That's how you show accountability. I'm going to read those again. Let me get my little piece of paper back. Y'all want me to read those again? All right, just because you don't want me to read them again, I'm going to read them again anyway. You have to pay attention to the details, all right, y'all? You have to acknowledge and fix your mistakes. You know what acknowledge mean, right? I know I always ask y'all what things mean. That's because I know y'all don't know. Some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, you have to help your coworkers. You got to, and by doing that, you will develop a protective approach. You got to show up as a leader. All right. And you got to stand up for what's right. And by standing up up for what's right, you improve your attendance. You feel me? And you still got to be willing to accept criticism. You feel me? Good criticism, not that BS crap. They talking about accepting good criticism, not that BS. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Accountability relationship entails acknowledging your mistakes or missteps, accepting responsibility for them, taking steps to rectify any harm you caused in that relationship. Now remember, I told y'all a couple of videos back, everything is a process. You have to trust the process. This ain't no different. It even says it right here. This process is about honesty, acknowledging your role in the conflicts or misunderstandings, all right? And showing a commitment to positive change. The first thing I told y'all in that before I got to committing to positive change was what? This process. Exactly. Everything is a process. I told you that before I even decided to write about to tell y'all about accountability. I told y'all everything is a process. And by me just popping up on giving y'all what accountability is, mean, and what it's about, the first thing I came across was what? In it. This is like goes for like the relationship though. But everything's a process, like I told y'all. Okay, now, fixing the lack of accountability. You have to discuss your career goals with your manager. 2, you have to take initiative. 3, you have to identify the problem in areas at work. 4, you have to get involved with work events. 5, you have to own your mistakes. 6, you have to continue learning. 7, give feedback. 8, make accountability a habit. Okay? You got that? Now let's back this up a little bit. Let's go back to number 1. Discuss your career goals with your manager. And I noticed, y'all, I only noticed this now. Well, actually, I noticed it the last time I did the last video, but I ain't like it, so I redid it. But anyway, I'm just going to say this. I read these things, and it's talking about discuss your career goals with your manager. A lot of these is talking about within the work field. So y'all need this. So y'all better pay attention. I already know these things. They love me in the work field. I mean, you know, the people who seen the actual greatness I brought to the table, they love me. Now the rest of them, they were just hating. They seen the greatness too, but that's what made them hate even more. But anyway, that's another story. But let's go ahead and go with this. Discuss your career goals with your manager. Okay, understandable. Number 2. I know what that means, right? Okay, number 2, take initiative. Y'all know what taking initiative means, right? That's also a no-brainer. Number 3, identify problem areas at work. That's basically, you know where you need to, what you need to work on at work. You know what you should and shouldn't be doing. That's basically what that is, okay? Number 5, own your mistakes. Just like you own that weave, ma'am, and you own that scat pack, sir, you need to own them mistakes. You need to own up to what you did. You need to own up what you said. You need to own up to who you did it and said it to. That go for both of y'all. Ma'am or sir. People all over the world, yeah, that's for y'all. Okay? Number 6, continue learning. What I told y'all I do in a couple videos back. I bet you probably none of y'all don't know. Yeah, I be waiting for y'all to answer like I can hear y'all. I always told y'all I do what? Learn something new every day. That's me what? Continuing to learn. And that's what it said in here. I ain't even know nothing about this part. This just came up, but I did tell y'all that. I learn something new every day, which I do. Hold on, y'all. Be back. All right, I'm back, y'all. Number 7, give feedback. Number 8, make accountability a habit. Now, that's something you definitely need to make a habit. And that goes for you, ma'am, and that goes for you, sir. And people all over the world, they go for y'all, too. And the reason I say you need to make accountability a habit, because you make everything else a habit that is not good for you, your soul, your body, your family. your self well-being, your self-awareness, your self-health, your self-nothing. So make accountability a habit. Okay? Thank you. Why? Because it's good for you. It'll help you. You might wonder why I care so much. Because I just do. I don't got to know you, ma'am, sir. People all over the world, I ain't got to know y'all to care about y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's a real person talking to you. It ain't no robot. Ain't no bot. Ain't no sheep. Ain't nobody controlling me. Ain't nobody telling me to put this on here. Ain't nobody making me put this on here. I do this because this is the stuff that y'all need to know. I like to give people the information that they need. I like to give people the knowledge that they don't have. You know what I'm saying? Much like what a school teacher or a college tutor, right? Exactly. But I ain't neither one of those. In a sense, I am, but as far as career-wise, I'm not. I probably could be a life coach, but I don't know. I just ain't something I'm looking into right now. Right now, I'm giving y'all this info, though. You know what I mean? Are you getting it? Are you taking it for a free? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm giving it to you for. All right? Also, for you to apply it to your life. Make accountability a habit, like I said. Now, going into why people don't take accountability. Okay, people don't take accountability because they have already made a conscious decision and another not to do something, and then another decision to downplay what they said they was going to do or what they said, period, from that previous situation, you know what I mean? And not following through on top of that and repeating this, they develop what? A habit of what? Convincing themselves what? That what they did, say, or what they said they was going to do has no real consequence, and it does, people. It's a lot like procrastination. And what you get from procrastinating, you get what? Short-term benefits for a long-term what? Consequence. Exactly. I remember all my stuff. Y'all probably ain't got a clue about half of the stuff that I be saying. But you need to pay attention because this is the stuff you need for life in general. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're going to do something that you said, then do what you said. You know what I mean? I always say, mean what you say and say what you mean. That's me. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. That's how I roll. All right, y'all. Here are 8 habits of a person who hold themselves accountable. 1 is they take responsibility. 2, they don't make excuses. 3, they are always on time, all the time. 4, they control their faith. 5, they own their feelings. 6, they manage their expectations. 7, they collaborate. 8, they don't expect praise. Okay? 9, they're a great person. I added that. 9, that makes you a great person. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. Now let's back up. 1, they take responsibility. That's me. I'm going to take responsibility for, I'm responsible for whatever the case may be if I'm involved in it or with it. If I know I did something, I'm taking accountability for that. If I think I did something, I'm taking accountability for that too. I ain't even got to be sure. If I just feel like that sound like something I had a hand in, I ain't talking about if I wasn't there type stuff now. Don't get this confused. You know what I'm saying? If I really feel like it was me, or if I know it was me, then I'm going to take accountability, meaning I take responsibility for it 100% fully for that, okay? Number 2, don't make excuses. I don't make excuses. I don't. I might say I'm going to do something and then do something different, but I don't make an excuse of why I did something different. I just did something different. You see what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at that. Got them salt and pepper going on all over the place over here, but it's all good. That's all wisdom. It's all wisdom. I ain't cutting none of it out. It's all wisdom. Now, a lot of y'all make excuses, and y'all ain't really got no excuses. Y'all really don't have no room to make excuses, I shall say. I ain't gonna say y'all ain't got none, because You probably got more excuses than a man going to jail, but I'm just saying. The reason I said that was because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all ain't in the type of situation that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't live like I live. So with that being said, just that alone, you don't have an out. You can't make an excuse, ma'am or sir. People all over the world, you can't make an excuse. You don't have an scapegoat. You think you do, but you don't. Why you ain't go to work today? Why you ain't go to work last week? Why you decided not to pay that bill, but you paid that bill? Like, what are your excuses that you can give me to convince me that it made sense for you to do the dumb thing that you decided to do? Whether it's not go to work, whether it's to oversleep, whether it's to go to bed late, like, what excuse can you give me to convince me that it made sense for you to do that? I'm going to tell you, it don't make no sense. Because I done lived your life. Yeah, I done lived your life, ma'am or sir. A couple times over already. I'm living a whole nother life now. I done lived your life. Ain't no excuse. You can't make an excuse that can convince me what you did make sense or was right. Because you was wrong. And you know you was wrong. But the reason people make excuses is because they know they're wrong for something that they did, but they use an excuse to try to have an scapegoat, but it don't work like that. Or they try to use a person for an scapegoat, but it don't work like that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? If I had a steady income, like I wanted a steadier income than I have, if I had a roof, if I had some type of extra stability of a human that I could depend on, like a lot of y'all got, I run all y'all over. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't have those things. I tell you what I do got though, that can be all of those things, was just a simple me getting on my knees. That's what I have. I have prayer. Prayer changes everything. I'm doing quite awesome with just prayer, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? You know how the saying go? You may not be where you want to be, but at least you are blessed to be where you are. That's the saying I just came up with. The saying really is, you may not be where you want to be, but eventually you will get there in time. See what I'm saying? That's probably something else I just came up with. I got a million of them. I acted like I was going to say a saying that you know, but you don't understand them two sayings I just gave you. Because you make excuses. So you can't understand. Now, with that being said, we're going to move on to number 3. They are always on time all the time. Now, that's me. When I did used to work, and where I used to work at, I used to be the first one at my job. I used to be everybody there except the bus drivers. Sometimes I beat them, but for the most part, they was probably like was the only ones to beat me. I mean, I was coming to work. I was getting there probably like 5 or 10 minutes after the coaches got there. Now, you know the coaches didn't get there early. Not all of them now, but this particular coach or two was there always around about the time I was coming in. Some of them pulled up at the same time I pulled up. Some of them was already there. Sometimes they was already there. But the fact I'm trying to point out to you is I'm always ahead of time so that I'm on time. Not that I'm always leaving at the time so I can try to make it. See what I'm saying? 'Cause I look at it like if they're on time, then I'm late. But if I'm early, I'm right on time. See what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Now, 4, they control their fate. I control my fate. I control my fate. I do. Not you, not nobody else. You see what I'm saying? I control it. I don't run to nobody clock. Ain't no none of that. No, I control me. Nobody controls me. I control me. I do what God say because that's the best thing for me. So if you want to say somebody control me, you can say God control me. But God is not a person. See what I'm saying? The Lord is a spirit. So I control me, but I listen to the spirit of the Lord when I make my moves. Now, with that being said, we're going into 5. They own their feelings. I own my feelings too. I own my feelings. They manage their expectations. I manage my expectations because I hold my expectations high for myself and no one else. I learned to hold them high for me and don't put nobody else's expectations where I will put my own, because people always let you down. You see what I'm saying? They collaborate. Yeah, I can work with anybody, anywhere, anytime, any day, any night, any given moment. That's just me. I'm a collaborator. You know what I mean? I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I can get along with anybody, whether you like me or not. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you stop me from making this money. I'm not going to let you stop me from getting to where I got to be. I'm not going to let you stop me from praising the Lord. I'm not going to let you stop me from doing what I got to do when I need to do it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I manage my expectations. Okay, with that being said, number 8. I don't expect praise, and I don't. It said they don't expect praise. I don't need it. I don't need you to praise me for nothing that I've done, nothing that I'll do, nothing that I'm willing to help you do, no matter how far I carried you. I don't need praise for that. You want to thank somebody, thank God. I ain't God. What you thanking me for? See what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm very humble. Now, with that being said, we're going to move on to number... That was it. Number 8 was the last one. They don't expect praise. Now we can move on to the next subject, y'all. All right, y'all, we back once again. Now, the core value or of accountability. What is the core value of accountability? Well, it's to ensure that all employees are answerable for their actions, behavior, and their performances. It is to ensure that all employees are answerable for their actions, behaviors, and performances. You know what that mean, people? Once again, you ain't got no scapegoat. That's what it means. Once again, it means you don't have an scapegoat. Yeah. I'm telling you plain and simple as day right there. The core value of accountability is what? To ensure that you got an answer for your actions, behavior, and performances. That's the whole bottom line. They making you accountable. If you're trying to run from it, you can't. That's the core value of accountability. Okay? Now, moving along. What does the Bible say about accountability? Plain and simple. We're gonna give you that right now. The Bible teaches us that everyone is accountable to God. And we all are sinners. Or we have all sinned and have fallen short of the perfect standards the Lord requires of us. Okay? Now, in Romans 3:23, it says, one day everyone will stand before the judge of all earth, and each one of us will give an accountability of him or herself to the Lord Jesus. Did you hear me? So you can run from accountability right now all you want to. When judgment day come, you're going to have to answer to somebody, and that somebody will be Lord Jesus. So you better be thinking about everything that you done. And you know what the great part about all of this is? Everything you done, everything you done said, and the way you done treated people. you can still save yourself from hell for it all. Ain't that beautiful? You can still save yourself from hell for it all. Some of y'all now. Some of y'all can still save yourself from hell for it. A lot of y'all, it don't matter what you do, say, how much you fast, guess what? You still gonna go to hell. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. That's why I said you can still save yourself from a lot of it and still keep yourself from going to hell if you don't want to be burned into the eternal fire, which is hell. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of y'all can still save yourself because it ain't too late for y'all. God got the last say so. Not you, not me. God got the last say so. See what I'm saying? But for a lot of y'all done did some stuff that y'all can't come back from. And on Judgment Day, that's when you will find that out. If the devil ain't already done took you by the end. I'm just being honest. I'm laughing a lot, but I'm for real. You know what I'm saying? I have a very humorous spirit, so I'm going to be joking a lot with y'all. That's just what I do. Excuse all the noise. You know, everybody wasn't born to be, like us. Be able to control their feelings and control their mouth and control the sounds that they make. A lot of people didn't get that blessed. But it's still a blessing for those same people to be here. You see what I'm saying? But y'all excuse that noise. Y'all excuse the noise from the kids in the last video when they was hollering and screaming. And on the first video I told y'all, I think it was identity that I did, right? I told y'all it was 13. It was 13 that makes up a person's identity. Makes up a person's identity, but it was only 12. So sorry about that. I caught it after I listened to it again. I heard myself say 13, but I only gave y'all 12 because I meant to say 12. I don't even know how 13 even came out. But just so y'all know, I ain't mean to tell y'all 13. I meant to tell y'all 12. So when y'all see this video, y'all be like, oh, that's why he said 13 and then only gave us 12. Yeah, it was an accident. I'm only human. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all for liking, subscribing, watching my content, listening, getting this free knowledge. You know what I mean? It didn't cost you nothing, so you should get the free knowledge. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. And like I said, like I'm always say before I get off my video, get on y'all knees every morning and pray. And every night, thank him that y'all made it through that day. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Pray every night. Thank him every morning. You can thank him at night too. But make sure you pray every night. Talk to God as much as y'all possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And you can talk to God more than once in the morning, more than once at night. But all it really takes is just that small little mustard seed of faith. If you got that, you're going to be all right. But definitely thank him every morning you wake up, drop to your knees and say thank you. I don't care if it's 2 seconds. I ain't say meditate and try to fast and all that. I ain't say do all that. I said thank him. I know it's not easy, man. It's hard. It's hard to live this type of life that I live. So I ain't finna force you or rush you into doing nothing. So I'm going to simply just say pray every morning and say thank you. And every night, thank him and pray. That's all I'm going to tell you. I ain't going to give you no more. I ain't going to push you no further than that. Because a lot of y'all can barely handle that. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? I do way more than that. But you can't do what I do. You ain't on my level. You know what I'm saying? You ain't on my level mentally, physically, or spiritually. You see what I'm saying? But thank y'all. I got a lot of love for y'all folks. They got a lot of love for me back. You know what I mean? Like God's love. Y'all stay blessed.